welcome to Ghosts of the Cotswolds. The Cotswolds is an area of outstanding natural beauty in the south of England in the United Kingdom. Famous for its gentle rolling hills, picturesque villages and market towns, and many of England's greatest stately homes and manor houses, but it is also home to some of the most haunted places in England. Millions of people from all over the world visit the Cotswolds to soak in the gorgeous, honey-toned limestone buildings from a bygone age. But there is much more to the Cotswolds than genteel landscapes and beautiful buildings. As we will discover in this series, this region is home to an unusually high volume of paranormal activity. Much of it may look like something from a fairy tale, but we're here to share stories from the darker side of the Cotswolds. The area is abound with ghostly tales we will explore, from apparitions of kings and noble lords, all the way through to the terror of murderous butlers and headless horsemen. The time has come for you to journey with us to explore Ghosts of the Cotswolds. We begin our anthology in the Wiltshire market town of Malmesbury, to the south of the region. Malmesbury is one of the oldest towns in the country and was actually England's capital in the 10th century and burial site of the first true king of all England, King Athelstan. Being so steeped in history and also acting as a key battleground during England's civil war in the 17th century, Malmesbury is home to an abundance of ghost stories. We begin at the town's most prestigious hotel, the Old Bell Hotel. Nestled right next to a centuries-old abbey, the Old Bell Hotel isn't just a place to stay, it's a living piece of history. With foundations dating all the way back to 1220, it proudly claims the title of Britain's oldest hotel. You might say it's the perfect setting for a spooky story or two. Standing right beside the haunting ruins of Malmesbury Abbey, there's a chilling belief that the east wing was built right over the abbey's ancient churchyard. Even more eerie, it's rumored that several sarcophagi lie hidden beneath the hotel bar, perhaps explaining the frequent unnatural happenings in both the east wing and the bar itself. The most iconic spirit that guests report seeing is the Grey Lady, a sorrowful apparition often spotted in the James Odie room. One story suggests she hung herself in this very room after being jilted at the altar of Malmesbury Abbey. A portrait purportedly of her is displayed in the hotel, with several witnesses attesting to the likeness between the ghost and this portrait. She's described as gliding through the halls with a melancholy air, seemingly lost in her own world. Grey Lady is often spotted drifting through the upper floors in the dead of night. She's said to be a shy spirit, one who, in a curious twist, seems to be more afraid of the living than we are of her. The moment she encounters someone, she vanishes into thin air, leaving only the faintest trace of her presence. Although some believe her to be less shy than reported, with local legend believing that if you say the words "Grey Lady" 3 times aloud in the James Odie room, she will appear. Would you be brave enough to test it? Although the Grey Lady is the most famous ghost to haunt the Old Bell Hotel, she is seemingly not the only ghostly guest to enjoy staying at or visiting the hotel. Other stories have centered around the Danvers room, where guests have experienced some truly unsettling moments, with reports of their belongings being hurled across the room by an unseen force. Some have even reported having their bedclothes mysteriously and aggressively torn off in the dead of night. In another guest bedroom, the Faux Room, a spine-chilling incident occurred when a guest was locked out of their room after a heavy wardrobe was impossibly shoved against the door from the inside. But it's not just the guests who've had strange encounters. Night staff have also reported seeing the ghost of a First World War soldier drinking at the bar, hearing unexplained eerie noises and feeling sudden unexplained cold spots during their shifts. Despite all the unexplained phenomena, the Old Bell Hotel is a majestic place to stay, eat, drink and be merry. Just be sure to look out for the unexpected, whether it's a ghostly apparition, items moving or flying on their own, or a chilly breeze that sweeps through when you least expect it. Away from the Old Bell Hotel, there are other ghost stories from Malmesbury, but you don't have to travel far. Just beside the old bell is Malmesbury Abbey, which has some stories of its own to share. The abbey has dominated this town for well over 1,000 years. It was established as a Benedictine monastery in around 676. Being around this long, it has of course seen many folk come and go, and some perhaps stay longer than their human form ever could. There's a chilling tale that's been passed down over the years, one of a former monk spotted wandering the cemetery late at night. But that's not all. Some claim that the haunting melody of monastic chants can still be heard echoing through the abbey walls. As if the past refuses to stay buried. Could it be the spirit of the monk, or something else entirely? Let's hope it's not the infamous John of Tintern, a monk whose actions would make him the very definition of immorality, resided in Malmesbury in the 14th century. This man, once an abbot, is believed to have been responsible for countless atrocities, with multiple accusations of murder and arson made against him. This earned him a reputation as one of the most brutal and ruthless figures of his time, and has later been given the unholy nicknames of the medieval mass-murdering monk or the Killer Monk of Malmesbury. Our final tales come just a 2-minute walk away down the town's high street to the King's Arms pub. At this lovely old pub is said to be the ghost of Harry Jones, a former landlord whose spirit may still haunt the place. Harry took over the inn from his father in 1880. Harry was described as a charming, dapper gentleman, always impeccably dressed, with a gold hat perched on his large frame. Newspapers referred to him as a Dickensian character, someone who upheld tradition and old customs with a lively spirit. But Harry's story didn't end in the 1920s, when he passed away in his beloved inn. It seems he was quite reluctant to leave. After his death, strange occurrences started happening, most notably in the bar and the room where he died, room 9. Guests and staff reported hearing heavy breathing in the room, and there were tales of Harry wandering the upstairs corridors. If you're lucky, or unlucky enough, Harry's large, smiling figure occasionally manifests, still carrying that larger-than-life presence. Over the years, the current landlords of the King's Arms have grown accustomed to these paranormal visits. A curious pattern of odd disturbances became a regular feature of their days. Small vases of flowers placed carefully on tables would suddenly slide across the surface and tumble to the floor. But there's the twist. When they hit the ground, the water would stay inside, and the flowers would remain perfectly intact. It's a mystery that's left the staff unfazed, simply picking up the vases and putting them back. Other eerie happenings have also been reported, lights flickering on and off, and beer taps turning on by themselves when no one is around. But the most chilling incident was caught on CCTV in a separate room of the inn. Shot glasses were seen flying off a high shelf and across the room, though unfortunately footage of this event remains elusive online. It seems Harry Jones is far from ready to relinquish his hold on the King's Arms, making sure his spirit lingers long after his time. This concludes our ghost tour of deeply historic and unique town of Malmesbury in the South Cotswolds. Please like and subscribe to be alerted to the next edition of Ghost of the Cotswolds.